The upcoming comedy feature film, Still Alive in Kingston, is set to premiere at the 2025 Kingston Canadian Film Festival in March. In a role loosely based on his life, former MuchMusic host Bill Welychka stars as a washed-up, middle-aged entertainment journalist desperate to recapture the glory and fame of his youth. The producers have launched a fundraising campaign to finish the project, and producer, writer, director Jay Mada is here to tell us how we can help out. Thanks so much for being here today, Jay.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So I grew up in the GTA and the MuchMusic era, so I'm very familiar with Bill Welychka.
Yeah.
Waited every week for the MuchMusic countdown, watched the top 30 music videos, saw all the interviews, all of those types of things. And people here in Kingston might be familiar with Bill and his goings-on around Kingston, but maybe tell us first about Bill, because he's the centerpiece sort of this story, and why Bill for this film.
Well, I grew up in Muskoka,
which
is like 2.5 hours north of the GTA, and up there really isn't, or there wasn't then, I don't know what there is now, but there wasn't any kind of new music radio.
Right.
And certainly there's no local television up there. And so MuchMusic was the only way we got, at least what we thought was cool culture.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's all we had.
Yeah,
right?
We all waited. Yeah.
And so, to me, I was a musician, or wanted to be a musician, and so getting all of my access to that world that I aspired to was through MuchMusic. So to me, I don't know, through doing music videos and movie stuff, sometimes you're just around people that are like well-known people or famous people or whatever, and it doesn't really mean anything to me because I know I don't mean anything to them, and it doesn't matter. It's not any. It just doesn't. Celebrity isn't that big a deal to me, except to me, Bill Welychka is maybe the most famous person in the world.
Well, no, I get it, because when I moved to Kingston, I was walking down the street and I said, oh, that's Bill Welychka right there interviewing someone on Princess Street with a camera and a microphone. What's he doing here? So I guess, is that kind of the premise, still alive in Kingston, right? So
when Bill moved here, I moved here in 2003, and he moved here maybe 12 years ago.
Okay.
When he moved here, I was like, I hadn't really thought about him in 10 years. And I was like, Bill Welychka's here in Kingston? And he was on TV, and he was writing for the paper. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I put a record out, and he came to my house and interviewed me in my music studio.
Wow.
And I taught him a drum lesson, and it was just the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I really got to do like a MuchMusic style segment. And I had been trying to think of a project for him for a long time. And I started thinking about doing a sort of sequel project to Live in Kingston, the movie I made in 2017. And I just sort of figured out this premise where maybe it's Bill. Maybe Bill's the one trying to get back to what he had before, and music is the avenue.
And so I think you're looking for some support to get that film over the final stretch, is that right?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a crowdfunding campaign right now.
Okay.
I'm sure the link will be on the screen somewhere. You can just go to our webpage, just to stillaliveInKingston.com, and you can get the link to our Indiegogo page. And we're trying to raise some money to help with post-production costs, and there's a whole bunch of great perks you can get. You can get signed scripts signed by like Bill and Rob Baker and all the cast.
Oh, wow.
You can get, your name in the credits of the movie. We have Bill's back T-shirts that are featured in the film.
Right.
Like, you can get the actual shirt that Bill's wearing in the film.
With real Bill sweat on it.
Real. I won't wash it.
Okay, perfect. Well,
or I'll wash it. Whatever you want.
Okay, you can request washed or unwashed Bill's back T-shirts.
Please wash.
So it's stillaliveInKingston.com, and visit there, and you get the link to the Indiegogo page.
Right at the top of the page.
Right at the top of the page. Support this independent local film. So you mentioned Rob Baker, obviously of Tragically Hip fame. Any other cameos or bands in the film that you'd like to share with us?
So there are so many bands in the movie. The movie, just like Live in Kingston, my first film, has like 13 live band performances, and we really go to the venues.
Yeah.
I was filming at the Merchant with Miss Emily last weekend.
Amazing. Yeah.
Frank Ryan, we have the Gertrudes, the Wilderness, Oak Ridge Ave, Anthea Fever, Cacao, like just a ton of amazing Kingston bands. As far as cameos, we have Rick Campanelli from MuchMusic.
Oh my gosh, Rick too, wow.
We drove to Toronto and shot a whole segment with Rick. He was very gracious, and it's great, yeah.
They're the original VJs, really.
And we have Hannah Sudak and Tracy Guptill and J.C. McMillan and David Rockney Corrigan and Stephen Spencer and
My
tons
gosh.
of great Kingston actors.
So really, truly a local film and tons of local talent in the film.
Yeah.
So I encourage you at home to visit stillaliveInKingston.com and support the film through that Indiegogo fundraising page, and then definitely go check it out when it comes out early in 2025. Thanks so much for being here, Jay.
Thank you.